Good evening, everyone. Live once again with you all and with a new topic, with a new subject. So, let us first quickly have a look at what is it that we are going to discuss about how to be always motivated. Let me ask you, is that a challenge for you that you want to be always motivated, but you know what happens that you remain motivated for a while and then again energy just drains out and you start looking for more ways to stay motivated. So this is the topic that I'm going to cover today. I'll be sharing my ideas about it. Before I proceed further to discuss about this topic, let me just mention that what is it that I'm doing. I have an online program which is focused on career acceleration, and it starts with a boot camp, which is a 5 day program. 1 hour every day you have to invest. And since this is a festive season going on, there is a special invitation for you all that one person makes the investment and that person can invite one more to become a part of this program who he or she thinks that would benefit from this conversation. So how to join, how to know more about it? So here is the link that I'm showing, and you'll get to see this link in the comments also. So just go to this link, find out the details, and become a part of the upcoming boot camp, which is going to start on 24th of November, evening 7 p.m. And let me say this, the numbers are fast filling up, right? So you need to grab this opportunity as soon as possible. Let's come back to the topic that we are going to discuss, how to be always motivated. Before I share any ideas about how to be always motivated, first important thing that we all need to understand is, shall we look for motivation or shall we look for inspiration? What is the difference between these two, motivation vis-a-vis inspiration? To my understanding, motivation is something which comes from an external source. Someone talks to you, you read something, you see something, and that motivates you. However, when this motivation moves to a very different level, that you don't need to depend on others for your energy, you don't need to depend on others or external stimuli to help you keep going ahead towards where you want to go, towards your goals and dreams, that's when it becomes inspiration. So, my suggestion is that yes, look for motivation if you need it now. However, start finding ways to stay inspired so that you can start motivating others and you can help others to be inspired themselves. So, this is the context that I'm going to share about. So, the first important idea that I would like to share is, have goals to look forward to. Look at your life from a very different angle, that you have to undertake any journey. What is the first thing that you decide? Any journey has to be started only after deciding the destination where you want to go. Whether you are using Google Maps, you have to mention in Google Maps as to where do you want to go. Whether you want to purchase any tickets to travel, you have to decide where you want to go. So every journey starts with the decision of where you want to go. So life also is a kind of a journey. And unless you decide the destination that you want to go to, you will not be able to find path. You will not be able to find energy to go there. So you need to have some space, some place where you can look forward to. This is where I want to go. This is the mountain I want to climb. This is the sea I want to cross. This is the distance that I want to run, and so on and so forth. And when you have such kind of goals in your life, you find that they give you energy by themselves. Motivation, inspiration, all that means that you have energy inside to take action. So goals give you that energy to move towards them, and that is a kind of motivation and you inspiration that you find from goals. So start setting goals. Another important thought that I would like to share, we will discuss this topic in detail sometime later. But a quick thought that I'm sharing about goals is you need to have goals in multiple areas of life, multiple areas, personal goals, relationship goals, finance goals, professional goals. You need to have all these kinds of goals so that they help you to keep a kind of balance in your life. If you have goal only in one direction, perhaps the life will become imbalanced by itself. All your energy will get focused and directed towards that one goal, and that will create a sense of imbalance in your life. So have goals in multiple areas of your life. Second important aspect of finding motivation is connect with hobbies and interests. I'm saying it from my experience that when we get into our job, work takes quite a bit of our time, and very naturally so. And we slowly and steadily start disconnecting from our hobbies and our interests. And when that happens, the sense of joy they used to give to you whenever you were engaged with them, whether it is art, craft, writing, music, sports, you automatically used to find energy as long you used to find energy when you were connected with those hobbies and interests. What happened after that? Why is it that you disconnected with them? Perhaps the work becomes so overwhelming, you get so physically drained out, mentally drained out, and you say, how much, how shall I find time for my hobbies and interests? So, the suggestion for that is start creating some time for that, howsoever small it may be, and whatever may be the frequency. It may be once in a week, once in a fortnight, or maybe 5-10 minutes in a day. Whatever works for you, that connection is very important, and that is going to help you a lot. So look at that. And in my interactions with participants of various programs, I encourage them, I empower them, I support them, I give them similar ideas. And when I get a feedback that this is the initiative they were able to take, this is the race or marathon they were able to run, or this is the hike they were able to complete, or music related initiatives they were able to take, art and craft they were able to do, all that gives me a sense of joy and satisfaction. So find ways to stay connected with your hobbies and interests. This is the second important point. So those who are watching it right now, my suggestion, my uh, request to them is please share this with others so that others who are watching it, others who can watch it, benefit from this conversation. So please share it from your own platforms. Now, the next important point that I'm sharing is set your habits right. Let me ask you a very straight question. Do you believe that you have some habits which may be draining your energy, which may be just taking away your time? And when the time is over, when the time is past, that's when you look back and say to yourself, oh my God, I could have done this or I could have done that in a similar time. And if you are getting into that kind of loop again and again, you definitely need to watch, you definitely need to look at it closely as to what are some of those habits which are just taking your time and energy away from you. And when you start setting those habits right, you will start walking on a path which has an element of motivation in it. Because when you are able to set your habits right, you know what happens? You start noticing slow and steady and small results and outcomes of those habits. And that is what is the source of inspiration for you. So that is why I emphasize in my all my programs and conversations that all of us need to pay attention to our habits, because they are actually giving the direction to our lives. They are becoming a default programming that we are living with, and that may be helping us or that may be actually harming us. So you need to examine what are some of your habits which need a little course correction. And let me say this, only you can do this. So start setting your habits right. That is the another point. Then comes very popular, very simple tool to implement: read or listen for inspiration. There are books and books which are available on a variety of subjects, which have stories in them, which have concepts in them, which have ideas in them, which can help you to find that spark within yourself. When you read something and reflect on that reading, you will be able to connect to that. Okay, if such and such person is able to accomplish something, why is it that I am not able to move ahead? And similarly, you can listen for inspiration. There are audios available of great masters and speakers who have lived in this world, who are still living in this world. You can listen to them. You can watch their life stories. Channels like platforms like YouTube are filled with such stories, and you just have to watch for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in a day, and you are able to connect with them. Now, another important point that I'm mentioning here is that all these things need to be done repetitively so that it changes your wiring. I'm repeating what I am saying. It changes your wiring in your mind. That's when you will start seeing the benefit. Because if you do anything for a day or 2 days or 3 days or a week and then leave it, it's not going to work. You can't say that I have read a book 2 months back and I still do not feel motivated. Obviously, you won't. So you need to stay connected with these sources of inspiration on a consistent basis, so that that repetition helps you over a period. In fact, that itself needs to become a part of your habit. So this is another important point that I thought I'll share with you. Next important thing that you can put into practice is having a review mechanism. And that review mechanism can be at a periodicity that suits you. It can be weekly, fortnightly, monthly. And why this review mechanism is important? Because you need to keep checking what is the distance that you have traveled, or what are the kind of challenges that you have faced in this period. What is it that you have done to overcome those challenges that you came across? All the that needs to be put into place as a system. That is why I'm saying you need to have a mechanism of review, so that you keep tracking what actions, what resources, what results that you have been creating on an ongoing basis, so that with that review, you are able to do any course correction as and when it is required. Otherwise, the classic example that is given is that if a flight takes off from one place to another, and from its set path, from the point of origin, if it deviates by just 1 degree, obviously it will not be able to land at a place which was supposed to be the destination. That is why review mechanism is very important. Like every flight has that review mechanism, which is helping the pilots to do the course correction on an ongoing basis. That's how all of us reach the destination for which we had boarded the plane. So be sure about having a review mechanism so that you can keep doing the course correction when the situation demands. And in fact, you can change your plans, you can change the commitments, you can change the commitment of resources based on the review that you do over a period of time. Next important point that comes to my understanding is very important, highly overlooked. That is rewarding yourself. Reward itself is a source of motivation. Whenever you keep on achieving small wins, achieving small milestones, you need to keep rewarding yourself. And what is that reward? That can be a very subjective issue. You may buy a gift for yourself, you may entertain yourself, or you may go for a short holiday, depending on what suits you. Or maybe you just take a couple of hours out away from all the kind of work, and you are just absorbing yourself in music or reading or arts or craft. Whatever way it works for you, reward yourself. And why this reward is important, the simple way to understand it is, there is a little child inside each one of us which wants that excitement, and rewards excite us a lot. When you reward yourself, that little child inside you feels, okay, there is someone who is taking care of me. And that child actually starts supporting you, start giving you that energy which is required to achieve whatever goals that you have in mind. It doesn't come in between your plans to achieve your goals. Otherwise, it can become a stumbling block by itself. So, understand this very subtle aspect of rewarding yourself. Then comes, pay attention to your fitness. If you want to remain motivated, if you want to stay inspired, your fitness is very important. Your physical fitness, your mental fitness, your emotional fitness. You might have noticed in the last couple of videos, live sessions that I have done, I have kept on mentioning about fitness again and again because we as human beings cannot compromise with it. I'm repeating, we cannot compromise with it. It is said that a person who is healthy has many options and alternatives, has many choices. But a person who is not so healthy, that person wants only one thing, to be healthy. So take that worry away from yourself by staying fit, and whatever needs to be done for that, start doing that, whether it is workout or walks or jogging or sports or meditation or breath work. All that is important, that contributes a lot to your fitness, overall fitness, and that releases a lot of energy inside you. So how does it work? It is nothing else but release of hormones. When you engage yourself in fitness regime, it releases hormones inside you, chemicals inside you, which give you the energy to work, which give you the energy to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Otherwise, you may have that challenge. So pay attention to your fitness, overall fitness. And the bonus tip is, plug your energy leakages. And let me say this, all of us have something in our life which may be a leakage of our energy, like various distractions that we have. What is your distraction? Is it social media? Is it entertaining yourself a little too much? So ask yourself, what is your distraction? And those are those need to be treated as energy leakages so that you can actually plug them. And once those energy leakages are plugged, obviously you can channelize that energy that you have towards achieving, towards the goals that you want to accomplish. And once you have that energy, that by itself becomes your source of motivation and inspiration. Now let me check if there is anyone who has any questions, any comments. Let me see. Is there any comment by anyone? So I'll be happy to respond to any questions that you have. So all right, so I don't see any comments as yet. So I'll have a look at after the session gets over. I'll have a look at if there are any comments, any questions. I'll respond to them, and I'll meet you again tomorrow, and with a new topic, new subject, and we'll continue this journey of these live sessions, live conversations. And once again, reminding you, 24th of November, I'm starting my next boot camp, which has a special invitation, special offer. One person makes the investment and that person can invite one more to become a part of that boot camp, which is a very engaging conversation that we have. And you start experiencing breakthroughs within those 5 days of the boot camp. You just need to invest 1 hour of your time for the boot camp and find your own breakthroughs. So I'll close this conversation right now and look forward to meet you again tomorrow. Bye bye. Wish you all the best and stay safe.